Commission, the same question. If you could give some reflections on the avenues for meaningful collaboration, coordination, and complementarity as well from your angle. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, I'm sitting in today for the Auditor General, who is currently on an official assignment in Morocco. He's attending the Organization of African Supreme Audit Institution Governing Board, and he would love to be here today, so he asked me to come and sit in for him. So I would like to begin by talking a little bit of our mandate. We are GAC, so we are charged with the responsibility of conducting audits on behalf of government. So we are the principal auditors of government, and when our reports are done, we kind of submit the report to Parliament or the National Legislature through the Public Accounts Audit and Expenditure Committee. And that committee is supposed to conduct public hearings, and results from the public hearings are supposed to be communicated in the form of a report to the Office of the President or to the government for action. Now, along the way, we have been very proactive in the limelight of collaboration. When our reports are completed, we are always in the business of sharing our reports with various integrated institutions. So the reason for which we share our reports with the LACC, the IAA, and the rest of them is recognizing the fact that we have to complement each other's mandate, because where our mandate ends is where another integrated institution mandate begins. So, for example, we are not supposed to be into investigation because the audit, of course, is based on samples and it's not as detailed as the investigation is going to be. That is why if we saw a semblance of corruption or fraud during the audit, we are mandated by law to contact the LACC, and we work very closely with the LACC. Matter of fact is that some of the investigations that LACC have carried out actually based on the findings of the GSC report. So the same thing with the IAA, we share reports because the IAA is supposed to kind of follow up on the implementation of the Auditor General recommendation. So we have been doing that very well. We've also collaborated through in-person discussion through the National Integrity Forum. That forum was actually established to have integrated institutions and some key civil society organizations meeting to kind of discuss strategies in enhancing their work and also creating synergy to lead to efficiency and effectiveness in the job that we do. I think we have to further expand on the issue of the National Integrity Forum. I think the activities are going down a little now that we are talking about the OWECC Liberia. It is important that we try to expand the membership where we can include the office, and then also try to include other stakeholders to strengthen the discussion instead of all having fragmented groups. If we have a group that is already established, the National Integrity Forum, I think will kind of save a lot of energy and a lot of resources, and try to, because we are all working towards the same fight, the fight against corruption. So on the issue of collaboration, GAC have been very much working towards that. We, as part of our strategy also, we've kind of formulated a unit now, operationalized a unit, because in the past, we had a little challenge with the issue of public hearings. Public hearings were not very active, but now the new committee has really embarked on conducting public hearings. So what we did from our end, so that the reports that we do cannot just be on the shelf, we operationalized a unit called the follow-up on the implementation of the Auditor General recommendation. So that unit was formulated to look into not fraud or not fraud related issues in the report, but issues on systems and controls. So the unit will go during the ESIC conference that we have and then come up with a roadmap as to how to implement the recommendation on the systems and controls issue. and it has been working very well. We issued the first report last year. We are in the process of issuing another report on the follow-up of the auditor, on the implementation of the Auditor General recommendation, whereby entities are linked based on their level of implementation. And we believe that such a report will actually even help the IAA in, because they have presence in all of the line ministry and agencies, to piggyback on the report and see who are complying and who, and those entities that are not. Those ones that are not, you can try to place more emphasis on in terms of the workings and how to kind of bring them up to speed. So from our end, we are very much open to collaboration in relation to the court. If I started, I think what we usually do for probably the Public Accounts Committee, where we serve as expert or witness during the public hearings, providing clarities on the report during the hearing, and sometimes in the background, before even public hearings are done, we go in there to prepare legislators on how to conduct the public hearing, the issues that are in there that need clarity. We believe that when the court is established, we can also come in with such a role, wherein, because the findings that we have in our report can serve as a basis for public prosecution or further investigation, we can be there to serve as expert witness. We can provide further clarification on issues surrounding financial cases, corruption cases. Sometimes maybe you don't need to even utilize outside expertise. The issue of budget support and all of that becoming a constraint. You can approach the audit office, because most of the work that we do, we have the pieces of evidence. I mean, driving the reports, you can approach us. We can kind of succumb, some of our staff to aid in the process. I mean, considering that the issue about corruption is a national fight. So we are open to that collaboration if the court is established, to provide expert witness, provide further clarification on what we do. So on the issue of collaboration, I think that has worked very well for the GAC, but we need to expand on existing bodies like the National Integrity Forum, try to open its membership to other institutions like the office we have now, and see how best we can collaborate and strengthen, this big fight against corruption. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's very clear. And
the workings of the IAA and even the GAC are guided by international standards. So as we request for some of this information, we should have in mind that the laws that were passed, especially for the IAA and what have you, they are actually based on the standards that we do. And the workings that they do, they have people coming to review their work. So if they begin to digress significantly from the standards governing their work, then it's going to be a challenge. But there's a safeguard. The safeguard is that the work that they do, when we go to audit, the standard says that we should kind of look at the work they have done and see to what extent we can place some reliance on their work. So we firstly review the work they've done. And once we review the work, it will kind of inform us as to where to direct our efforts and energy. Now, when we are done with our work, we make the report public. As we take it to Parliament and the Office of the President, as soon as they receive it, the report becomes a public information. We put it straight on the website, and then you can come to the GAC Freedom of Information and ask anything about those reports. So I think that's a safeguard. We should be careful how we kind of talk about the issue of transparency, so that we cannot digress too significantly from existing international standards. I want to add that. Thank you.
thank you.